There was a very big fight that happened over the weekend. Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. And we covered it last week, actually.
Yep, on center in Dallas.
Absolute spectacle. The fight didn't live up to its hype. Nate Diaz was dropped. It wasn't much of it, just a temple shot. And his feet were all squared up. So, he didn't inflict too much damage. But Diaz did what he was going to always do. He came forward. He put pressure on Paul. He absorbed a lot of punches. He's very durable. Everyone knows that. Anybody who's been watching Diaz the last few years. So the fight was pretty much
it was a race.
It happened the way, if you look at both fighting styles, it happened the way that people thought, that in the game thought would happen. Because you got one guy who can absorb a lot of punishment, very durable, and is not the most technically gifted boxer. And you got another guy who's been trying to build himself up as a boxer, but all he's done is win against MMA guys who aren't boxers. So I didn't watch the full fight myself because I'm against these sort of gimmick fights, because I think all they do is just rob people of money. And but you did it, and you had some thoughts.
I'm surprised it was even sanctioned. And I know that we've seen in the past when Mayweather fought McGregor, but at least McGregor had enough skill to throw punches. At least he attempted to look like a boxer and change sports from being an MMA superstar to at least trying to box. Nate Diaz was flat-footed, looked like he'd never thrown a punch before. Yes, he was incredibly durable, lasted the 10 rounds. Unbeknownst to me, I don't know how he did. But Jake Paul, who's not even a professional boxer, I think he's had 7 fights, bashed the absolute crap out of him. It became a farcical and a funny spectacle by way of Diaz trying to rouse the crowd, and he became the crowd favourite. But in terms of boxing as a spectacle, yes, it was entertainment, but geez, it was rubbish.
Well, I'm very surprised that you're so surprised, because that's what was expected. That's why I didn't watch the fight.
I thought Diaz at least would have actually defended himself properly and or thrown a punch.
Tony, look at Diaz as a fighter. Has he been much of a big puncher? He slaps. He's known for the Stockton slap, for God's sake. I mean, he's a guy who wears guys down, absorbs a lot of punishment, very fit, very durable, gets them on the ground, gone, finished. What he's done to Conor, what he's done to many others in his lifetime. That's been the Nate Diaz style for a long, long time, and it does not shock me whatsoever that the fight happened the way it did happen.
Okay, did everybody who paid for the PPV, the pay-per-view, and or attended that event in Dallas, were they ripped off?
Yes.
And by extension of that, how much did Jake Paul and Nate Diaz rip off the public? What were they paid?
Well, official purses were $500K each, $500K to Nate Diaz and $2 million to Jake Paul. By the time the pay-per-views come in, I reckon Nate Diaz will end up with about $2 million, and I reckon Jake Paul will go between the 7 and the 10 mark.
7 to 10 million?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a payday. One hell of a payday. And you know what? I take my hat off to the two fighters and the promoters, but don't bring us that crap again.
You probably watch the next one.
Of course, because I love boxing, but who doesn't? But you want to see entertainment, not rubbish.
All right, there you go. Jake, make sure, if you're listening, make sure next time you put on a real fight, mate. Tony's not happy at all.
Jake, to me and Ahmed, your fellow YouTube stars, give us something.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's all for today. We're out of time. It's a wrap. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Tony. Once again, it's an absolute pleasure. Take care, everyone. We'll catch you all next week.